everyone. Hello and welcome back to another Tuesday Storytime. So we're going to get back to our story with Willow and her inherited house from Granny Clark. Okay. One day, Willow is sitting on the floor in her bedroom that used to be Granny Clark's bedroom. And she's holding the school diary of the 3 triplet girls that she had found a while back. And she feels like that there's something else to it. Some kind of a mystery. It needs a closure, and she needs to be the one that gives it that closure. You know, something's not finished. Something's left undone. Something she has missed, that she just didn't get yet. So she's holding the diary. She's looking at it. She's rubbing around on it. She's thinking, And she notices something that she did not notice before. So she inspects the book real good. And there's a little tear on the seam. So she picks at it and pulls at it and looks, and she notices there is a piece of paper inside there. So she carefully gets it out. And it's a letter. And it's a letter from the Triplet sisters, Rose, Lily, and Violet, to Beasley. So Willow sits there and reads that letter. And the letter is saying, it's the 3 girls writing to Beasley, telling her that they have gotten to their new home. They are finally starting to get settled in. And, they wanted to write her to let her know where they were at and to give her their new address, because they definitely want to stay in touch and and keep writing each other, since they can't live across the road from each other anymore. And in the letter they say, funny thing, we got here and we was unpacking and getting settled in with our stuff. This is Rose. Each twin wrote a part in the letter, and this is a part because they put their name above what they wrote. Rose is writing to Beasley that Lily found her school diary. Violet found her school diary. But Rose could not find hers anywhere. So she still has not located. And they have unpacked everything. And it's a mystery to them. She does not know where her school diary is. And she's just wondering if maybe that last day that Beasley was over helping them pack, did Beasley happen to see where she had the diary? Maybe that could help her figure out what happened to it. And she even drawed like a little smiley face that looked like it was kind of giggling in a way. Kind of like she suspected something, And so what it was, she had suspected that maybe Beasley had taken it, the diary. But she didn't really want to accuse her best friend of doing that. She wanted Beasley, to admit it herself in her letter to them that she did. And they figure they know why, because they were all sad that day and had cried. Now, all of this is not in the letter. This is me thinking, I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Because Willow don't find all that out in the letter. So, but reading the letter, she knows that the triplets lived across the street from Beasley and that they were all best friends when they were teenagers. And that they had to move because they've moved and they got a new house and a new address, and they're writing to their best friend to give her the new address so they can write each other and stay in touch. And she knows that the triplets could not find Rose's school diary, and she's got it in her lap. Willow does. And so she's wondering how that happened, and why. So the letter is ended. The triplet said, your 3 garden flower friends, or your 3 garden friends, something like that, because their names are flowers and they were all 3 her friends, and that's how they called themselves. So she learns that with how they ended the letter. Okay. See, it's modern day. It's 2025 with Willow, so, it's the computers, and it's Wi-Fi, and it's online, and it's AI, and it's being able to find out all this stuff, And Willow is smart, and, she has a computer job that she works at her home, so she gets online, and she knows how to look up, and, the address that's on the letter. And she knows how to do a research using that address and finding out who lives there now and a phone number for them. And then she calls her friend Paige, who had rented her house, her mom and dad's house across the street from her. And she's all excited, and she tells her about finding the letter. She reads the letter to her, and then she tells her about the research she's done and how she's found a number, and she is excited and she wants to call. And so Paige comes over to her house, and Willow calls the number. And it happens to be Rose that answers the phone. Well, she introduces herself. Rose answers and says hello, so Willow introduces herself. She says, hi, I am Willow. I can't remember what I had gave her as her last name. Some of y'all might. If you do, put it in the comments and let me know. But anyway, she explains that she is a friend of a Beasley Clark. And when she said that, Rose gasps. And so she says, I have inherited Beasley Clark's house. And when she said that, Rose goes, oh, she's passed away. And then, so Willow explains a little bit. She don't go into detail. But that she tells her that she found this old school diary in the house that has pictures of the 3 girls. And Rose dies out laughing. And then she calls her sisters. Lily! Violet, come here! Wait till you hear this. And then she quickly explains to them. And then that's how Willow says, so all 3 of you are still alive? Yes, we are. We all live together in the same house. And she says, oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. So she says, I found the letter. It was hidden in the seam of the diary that y'all sent Beasley after you moved, giving her your new address. And she even reads it to them, and they all laugh and die out laughing. And she says, yes, I have the diary right here. And so Rose says, that sneaky little booger Beasley stole my diary. You know. And so Willow says, I have my best friend here, Paige, and, you know, because we're laughing over it, and we're enjoying going through all this stuff. And Willow tells them, I would love to meet y'all in person. I would love to bring y'all this diary and give you your diary back, Rose. And they all say, oh, that would be wonderful. Yes, come visit us. And so she asked, can I bring my best friend Paige with me? And they said, yes, of course, of course, of course. And so they plan a trip. They pack up. Paige packs up and goes with her. And they visit the Triplets. They stay with the Triplets in their home. She gives Rose her diary. They share stories back and forth with each other. And so Willow and Paige learns from the Triplets that the reason they had to move, her dad had a job transfer. And they had to move far away. And it was sad for the girls. And they had cried that day, you know, that Beasley had come over and helped them. And they had been hugging and crying and packing because they didn't want to be separated. They was going to miss each other so bad. But the Triplets made sure they got Beasley's address so they could write her back when they got moved and settled in and give her the new address so they could continue to write and stay in touch with each other. And then, you know, they go on to tell her when we got settled in and unpacked, we couldn't, the other girls, Lily and Violet, found their diaries. I couldn't find mine, Rose said. But we had a suspicion that maybe Beasley had gotten it and took it because she was so very sad and heartbroken about us moving. And so we wrote her a letter to give her our new address, and we asked her about that, and so they enjoyed looking at the letter together. So that's how Willow learned about that and learned who the Triplets were. And they enjoyed and had their fun time, and Willow and Paige told them about their stories. So Willow told the Triplets how when she was a little girl, her mom and dad moved there across from Miss Beasley. Miss Beasley had come over and introduced herself and brought flowers and a casserole dish to them. So they met. Her mom and dad became friends with her. Willow grew up with her and started calling her Granny Clark because Granny Clark had, you know, unofficially adopted her like that as her granddaughter. When she was sick in the hospital, she had crocheted her the pink cat and give it to her and all that. And how they all did the job of helping the neighbors around and everything. And then how her mom and dad passed away. And so she had their house and lived there by herself. But then she kept being friends with Beasley and Granny Clark, you know, and helping her. And then how she got older and had to go in an old folks home and ended up passing away and left her house to her. So she moved into her house. She's rented her mom and dad's out to her best friend, Paige, now, but she didn't know her at the time. They had just met when she'd come to move in and rent it. But they've become best friends, and they're enjoying going through the house and finding things and organizing and straightening up and cleaning up and making it her own and all. So they had a lovely visit, and then Willow and Paige went back to their house. And so that's where we're going to end this story this time. Hope y'all are enjoying it. And we'll see y'all again next week on Tuesday for Tuesday Storytime again. And we will see what Willow and Paige gets into next time. Toodaloo until then.